Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I'm Stuart, joined by Kurt, John, and Lottie. And tonight, we're going to talk about the most annoying Disney World guests. And you know what? Most people are really nice that go to Disney World, but the ones that are annoying, oh, do they stick out like a sore thumb. And we're going to get into it right now because Kurt, actually, you know what? I'm going to wait for Kurt because Kurt's got a great story. And I've heard it
I have a
before.
couple, but you want me to give the good one first? When I
No, I want
actually
you to
go.
save that for last. I want people to
Okay.
stick around for that one because that one,
Okay.
that is a showstopper. I guarantee it. You're going to want to hear this. It's vile, gross, and exhilarating all at once.
You
That
can't make
story.
this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't. So,
I should
John,
have my wife come in and tell it because she experienced it.
John, I would let you go first, but we're gonna go ladies first tonight and let Lottie go.
Sounds good.
I can't think of any annoying stories right now other than annoying things that just burn me up. And that is the people in the what do you call them, the electric scooters? And I can
Yes.
say this because I've driven around the parks in an electric scooter before. But can you stay off people's ankles? Can you not park it in the wrong location? Can you learn how to drive it through the queues? Can you, uh, stop and charge it if you need to? Like there's a bunch of just unwritten rules around using those scooters that people just generally ignore. Just because you paid for it doesn't mean you can take out my toenails trying to get to the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I was in Epcot in World Showcase one time, and there was, this was something I had on my list, and now I'll just include it with yours. I'll take it off my list. An elderly man was in a scooter on the wrong side. People are walking in one direction on the right, the other direction on the left. He's on the wrong side, driving straight or riding straight into people, yelling at everybody, "Get out of my way!" Like, seriously?
Ah,
Yeah.
Hey, that
like,
being said, though, we have actually had, when my mom was in a scooter, people not paying attention to just walk right in front of her.
oh
They
yeah,
just don't
that
have
does
their
happen.
actions to stop in time. But
yeah. I don't like that either. On the flip side, right? You have to be mindful of the folks in scooters and be courteous. Don't jump in front of them if there's an elevator situation, right? Or,
Right.
don't stop in the middle of the walkway and have to force those folks to slam on their brakes.
Mhm.
they're usually staring at their phones.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, we all have to when we're walking around the parks now to find our next, whatever we're going to next. But do it to the side.
Does that count as a second things that annoy you? Like move to the side, please.
No. I haven't gone yet. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that goes both ways for you.
Now I'm telling you, everybody who's listening and watching the show, this Kurt story is definitely worth it. It's worth the price of admission. John.
Something that I am definitely annoyed by and frustrated by is when large groups of people will stand in the middle of the walkway. And, especially in Magic Kingdom, where there are a lot of people and they're all trying to get somewhere and going two different directions. When you have a large group, it's a family, it's a group, you've got 10 people standing right in the middle of the walkway talking, and it just makes the congestion so much worse. And, I certainly understand if, you're trying to figure out where you want to go or what you want to do, but if that's the case, move over to the side, walk over to a shop or a restaurant or something like that. Don't stand in the middle and block the way for everybody else, and help everybody to have a better day.
Yep, I've seen that plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kurt.
I'm not there yet, but the one that does, I do have others. So one that really bothers me is when you've got yourself all set up and you're with your group and you're up exactly where you want to be for the fireworks, and somebody is basically holding an area for their crowd, like I thought that's where John was going,
Mhm.
and they all force away in front of you saying, "Excuse me, I just have to check something here." And then two of those people that just forced their way in front of you put kids up on their shoulders.
Mm.
Yep.
So now you can't even see what it is. I mean, when you're close enough that you want to see what's happening on the castle, and now you can't see it because they did. Oh, it's for the kids. Hey, I paid to get in here too. My kids are right here, and they can't see, and they're 6'2". They can't see.
So why can't people that hold their kids up that way hold them up in front of themselves?
It's not comfortable.
Right.
It's comfortable.
It's
It's
but
really not comfortable.
then move back.
No.
Move really far back.
No, you
So
know what
that you're not
the
blocking
answer to that
anybody.
is? Get there early enough where you're the first one there, so nobody can gripe about what you're doing. Well, we'll gripe anyway, but
Right.
I don't think there's any good answer for that. But I've had that happen to us too. You know,
It's
it's just don't do it. Don't do it.
yeah. And again, I've got someone that's going to be going that's only 5'3". We've got to find a good spot where we can park ourselves so that when something like that happens, this person can still see. So we're gonna have to find like the grassy knoll area or something
Bring
to make
stilts.
sure we can do it.
Bring stilts.
I'll have her go up on my son's shoulders. How does that sound?
Yeah,
And
there you go.
we'll force our way in front of that other person. So
Yeah, I think that's really rude when people do. You're standing there waiting for the fireworks, and somebody at the last minute decides I'm gonna. Whether they're holding it for a group but they come in at the last minute, they decide to just stand in front of you, and then they put the kids on their shoulders, and it's just like, yeah, that's not nice.
I'm fairly tall, and when I go into a theater, first of all, I try to sit not in front of somebody that's short, and even irrespective of where I sit, if there's a seat behind me, I try to scrunch down in the seat because
mhm.
Yep.
I don't want to be 6'1" and then have somebody that's 5'2" behind me. So I try to
Right.
help them, as much as I can without, laying flat on the floor and not being able to see myself.
Yeah, I try to do the same thing. I'll make sure when I go into an auditorium or theater that I'll sit someplace where there's nobody behind me at that moment.
Right.
And then you're right. I will. It's more comfortable to scrunch down in the seat anyway. Um, I'm going to pick up on a couple of things that, in a little different from what Lottie mentioned, and something that you mentioned, John, with people standing in line. I've seen people walking in a line across with double strollers, and there's like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people in a line at times, in a line walking. That's just as bad as standing in the middle of the walkway. You know what? You'll have plenty of time to talk to your friends and whoever you're with. You don't have to stand in a line straight across. Don't do it. Think about all the people that are behind you that have to get somewhere.
That happens with Run Disney too. It is so annoying during a race.
Yeah, and they tell you not to do it, but people do it anyway.
Anyway, yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Run Disney, congratulations to all the runners. And also,
Mhm.
have you ever, I know Lottie and John, you both are Run Disney vets. Have you ever seen somebody try to sneak in with a fictitious number?
I've never seen it. I've heard of
Oh,
it, but
Lottie's shaking her head. Yes. I want to hear this story.
Yes. Yes.
That's annoying too.
Well, uh, so the person got someone else's bib and took it to like a copy place and brought came back with the bib, a copy of the bib over their bib, not because they didn't pay for an entry, but they didn't like the queue they were in. They wanted to be closer to the
Oh,
front.
God.
And so
It's not as bad as.
the person's bib that they copied had an A corral
Mm.
and they were in D. And so they just used it to get in the corral A and then took it off after the race started. But I mean,
Wow.
their bib was under. Don't ever do this. This is horrible.
So
It
they
was
didn't get caught.
no, they didn't.
Oh, I would have ratted them out so fast.
Yeah. They just wanted to be in corral A because they wanted to take their
Wow.
time, get through the
Well, how did you find out?
I was there when they did it.
Mm.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I
Oh
would never
boy.
do that.
I've always been a rule follower, and if I see somebody not following the rules, I won't approach them or say anything, but I will rat them out so fast.
Yeah, they got away with it.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, I was back in C, shaking my head.
People are just like,
Mm.
where are we now? Who was it your
I
turn?
think we're back to Lottie.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
All
If
right,
you
Lon.
just went, if you're done, you're back
Yeah,
to Lottie.
yeah, annoying things. Um, you wait in a very long line at quick service. You've been standing there for a long time, and you get behind somebody who's been standing there just a few minutes fewer than you have, and they get to the front and they have absolutely no idea what they want to order.
Mhm.
I knew where you were
No
going.
clue.
Yep.
They stand there. What about, hey, you want extra fries? I just like we are all standing in line. Can we make this go faster by being prepared when you get to the cast member? You had time to see the menu and
I
it's
could
on
do
your
you I could do you one better than that. In the exact same situation, person gets on their phone talking to someone else. What would you like? What do they have? And they're reading off the freaking menu.
Yes.
Oh,
You couldn't do this ahead of time. Hey, there's this thing called the My Disney Experience
Oh
app.
my gosh.
mhm.
You can look up the
Lord.
app and you can literally have whoever you're talking to looking at the app and text you their order. What a
Yep.
concept.
Yeah. And have you ever seen the people that they'll pay for, oh, I'm sorry, they'll order and then they have to pay for their order, and it's taking forever for them to find their credit card or cash, and they're fumbling around. Oh, maybe I put in this. Oh my God. It's just like, if you're that disorganized, why are you here?
There's a reason why I use my magic band. Boink,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
see John's
annoying.
got that smirk on because he's one of those people. No, I'm kidding, John.
No,
I know
no,
you're
I
not.
am prepared. Because
Yep,
I feel
you
the
always
same
are.
way.
I think all of us on this show are organized, prepared. We know what to expect, and you know what? That carries over not just at Disney World, in your daily life.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
it's just being considerate. Being
Yeah,
considerate of others.
and
The
respectful.
world is not just about you.
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
not. That's very true. It's just there's so many people that think the world is about them.
I feel bad if I realize that I'm not being as considerate as I could be,
Mhm,
and that if I
mhm.
think that I might be, affecting somebody else. I
Yeah,
feel bad if I wasn't being considerate when I could have been.
yeah, yeah. I agree. All right, now, does anybody have a lot on their list or just a few things?
I've only got 2 more things.
Okay, what about you, Lottie and John?
I got 2.
All right, Lottie, why don't you finish up with what you have, then we'll go to John. You'll do what you've got. I'll do what I've got, and then we'll go to Kurt because I can't wait to hear that story from Kurt. Even though I've heard it already, I want everybody to hear it. It's wonderful. It's exactly why the show is. This is exactly why we're having this show.
Okay, one is relatively minor. Is actually not. No, it's not. It's the people that don't follow instructions at attractions, right? When they say move all the way to the end, move all the
Yep.
way to the end. If they tell you you are in row, you're in A on Soarin', then don't hop over to the next row. If you're supposed to put your seatbelt on and then pull the yellow strap, then can you do this so we can keep going? The
Mhm.
folks that just don't follow the rules on the attractions, that really burns me up. Just they said take your mouse ears off. They said take your hat off. Can you just put it in the little compartment under the seat or in the little storage bin so they don't have to stop Rise of Resistance because your hat came off.
Because your hat came off.
Yes.
My hat comes off on
That's
Rise.
Oh,
And you just cost us another 45 minutes.
yes.
Yep. At least 45 minutes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So annoying.
Yep.
The people who save seats unnecessarily long at outdoor eating or indoor eating spots, right? You got your bags, you got 12 other people's bags, and you're sitting alone at a table for 12. Uh, and I got 5 people with me, and we can't find anywhere to eat, and you're just chilling.
Or
Yeah.
they're there because it's too hot and they just want to cool off.
Well, then
And
go
now you
find
can't eat.
right. Go
Yeah.
find a
Yeah.
table that is appropriate for the size party you have instead of
Not even a table. They're not eating.
yeah,
It's just it's too
yes.
hot outside. So here, just go walk around in a store then. Cool off that
Yeah.
way. Go to the
Yeah.
Hall of the Presidents and cool off in there.
Go to
There's
You know,
always room.
yourself.
I don't mind somebody sitting at a table and not eating if there are available tables for the people who are eating. But if there aren't,
Right.
be courteous, get up and let the people who are eating eat.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
don't do it during lunch hour.
And part B of that is folks who get up and expect that cast members are supposed to clean up all of their foolishness. And they
Oh,
leave
God.
Oh God, I
just
know.
Quick
Oh,
service, yes.
trash and everything, all and they don't bother to
Mhm.
pick up anything.
Yep.
You leave things better than the way you found it.
Yep.
Even if you're on
Yes.
vacation.
Mhm.
I
Get the
agree.
tray. Put all your stuff on the tray and go take it in the trash. Put it in the trash. Okay, I'm done. That's all I
All
have.
right, John.
This is a big one, and I'm sure everybody's experienced this, and that is doing two things, and that is taking flash pictures in an attraction or a show, or turning your screen on when you're in a dark attraction, because it affects the experience for everybody around you. And to Lottie's point, you've been instructed not to do those things, but and I've seen this worse in Disneyland Paris, but I mean in Disneyland Paris, I think it was I s- I was in Pirates of the Caribbean, and there were like 3 or 4 uh, people nearby that were all flashing and taking pictures. Drive me nuts. But so that one, and one other thing that at least personally irks me, and when you're in this queue and you've got a lot of people in the queue, and you have people pushing up through because they've got to get
Bingo.
somebody else in their group. So I don't know why people are doing it or what the answer is, but my guess is that a lot of people are just lazy,
I'll
and
explain it.
so they'll
On my
send
turn, I'll
one
explain it.
person to be way up, and then they'll wait until the person's getting up farther, and okay, now they had a chance to eat something or go to the restroom or whatever. Okay, now we'll go up and we can walk. It just to have people pushing past when it's already crowded in the queue.
Yep.
Just think of some better way to do it. That's my only request.
You know, what'll happen is a lot of times somebody will hold the spot on a queue because some of their other party or on another attraction that they didn't want to go
That's
on.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I've been on lines where the person in front of us will say, you know, I hope you don't mind. I'm standing on line here, but I'm expecting my wife and children to come. If I
Then
know
you can
that,
go
I'm
behind me.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If I know if the guy, you know, who's ever in front of me, they tell me they're expecting, I'm fine with that. I don't care. It's like it doesn't affect me. What I don't like is when you get like 20 people pushing ahead of you because one person's holding the line for them with a queue.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
there's
it.
definitely a spectrum there of
Yeah.
things that are more tolerable than others. Yeah.
Right.
We had parents in front of us that didn't want to ride Space Mountain. We're in line for 40 minutes. 7 teenagers come forcing their way in front of us. What? No, it doesn't work that way. You can
My
work your way
wife,
back.
my wife, if I'm 3 people ahead of her, and and some people get in between us just because we weren't close enough, she will have me come back and let them go ahead so
Yep.
that it doesn't look like I'm holding a spot for her to come up.
Yep. Yeah, we've done that too.
Yeah, on that same note, the thing that bugs me the most. Yeah, no, you can't take your kid stroller in the line with you. And then while your kid is in the line, you need to maintain control of the kid while they're in line. I was in
Mhm.
waiting for it was like probably I think it was Peter Pan, and this kid did not want to wait.
Mm.
They were very clear that they were annoyed with waiting. They weren't going to stay, so they put the kid down on the floor, and kid took off running. And they just laughed. They just laughed about it. Like, "Oh, that's so cute." No, it's not. Go get him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go get your kid. And so you could hear, like, you know how the queue has different rooms, right? So you could
Mhm.
hear from like a couple rooms up the cast member saying, "I've got a kid here. Who does this?" Because that their cast member's not going to touch the kid, right? They're just trying to
Mhm.
keep them from jumping onto the ride.
Yep.
Or jumping inside of all the stuff that's going on in the room.
Yes, yes.
And it's dangerous for a child to do things like
Yes.
that.
The kid just
Mhm.
ran off, and they didn't bother. They didn't bother to go after him. They didn't say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me grab little Johnny here."
Mhm.
No, they just laughed. They thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. My last thing is is similar to what you're talking about there with people saying things are cute. When you're in a sit-down restaurant and a kid, a small child decides to do something that the family thinks is hilarious, and they encourage them, and the kid starts squealing and making all kind of noise, and they all start laughing and clapping, and so the entire table is making all of this noise in a place where you're expecting it to be, kind of comfortable and relaxed, and it's sit down dining. You want, you certainly, it's okay to talk, it's okay to have a group, but encouraging kids to squeal and make a lot of noise and then just laugh and get them to do it even more so that it's very loud and really affecting the experience of the other diners. I don't understand why families have to encourage their children to continue doing that and even getting louder.
There are parents that need parenting themselves.
Mhm.
That part.
All right.
So that's it for me.
Okay. I'm going to go through. Let's see. Okay, this one it's annoying, but it doesn't really affect other people. This was last year. We were in Epcot, and we see this young couple walking by. Girl has a backpack on, and in the backpack, there's a little puppy sticking its head out of the backpack. Why are you
still don't know.
bringing a puppy into the park like that?
How do you get a puppy into the park like that?
How'd she get through security? It's what I'd like to know.
Well, if there's no metal
That's right.
exposed
There's
of
no
the
metal on the
backpack,
dog, and if it's closed
as-
into the backpack, you don't see it.
yeah, as long as the dog was quiet, I guess that's how they got in.
Yeah.
But still, come on, there's no emotional support animals in
No,
the
not for a
park.
puppy like that.
So hopefully they'll catch that and
Yeah.
take care of that.
Let's see. Now this can be offensive to people. There were people that, and oh God, I've seen it so many times, inappropriately dressed in the parks,
Oh,
and this
Yeah.
goes for both men and women. It's not just towards one or another. It's I've seen this quite often, and it's just like you're there with you're there with your children too. It's just like, did you look in a mirror? Do you see what you look like and what you're portraying to other people and your children, especially?
they don't
You're a
care.
role model to your children.
They don't care.
No,
Well,
they
they
don't.
learned on TikTok that if they dressed a certain way, they could get a free shirt because it's not appropriate. So here, put this free shirt
Oh
on.
boy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. This TikTok is like Bruno. We don't talk about TikTok.
Well,
I've never been on it. We'll never be on it.
Yeah.
That's if it survives.
it's back.
Let's see. Throwing garbage. Lottie, you mentioned something like this, but I've seen kids or a kid throwing garbage on the ground on Main Street in the Magic Kingdom. The mother sees it and doesn't say anything to the child. Nothing. Like crickets.
Hmm.
Like, what are you teaching your child? Unbelievable. Let's see, what else do I have on here? We mentioned that moving all the way down. Cutting lines we mentioned. We mentioned something like this. John, you did. But I've seen in a restaurant parents letting their kids in Disney restaurants, letting them run around in
Yeah.
the restaurant. You know what? Don't send your child to my table because you can't handle them. Just get them away. I raise my own kids. I don't need to raise yours.
But I mean, again, it starts at home, right? If you're
Yeah,
not
it does.
sitting down at the table eating dinner with your family on a regular basis, what are you going to do when you go to Disney World, right? They're going to
Mhm.
hand them a screen and let them sit there to try to keep them occupied while you enjoy dinner. No, teach the kid before they get there how to sit at a table and eat
and
like
and
this.
not and not have a 2-year-old watching a loud video at Crystal Palace and annoying everybody around them.
Mhm.
Right. We don't
Yep,
want to hear Bluey.
Mhm.
We
that's
don't.
right.
No.
Yep, very true. I got 2 more
No.
things on my list. I've seen people smoking in the park. I've seen people vaping in the park.
That's the
Vaping
worst.
in line.
It's
Yeah.
it's prohibited. It's annoying to people. It's
Yeah, I'm
also
allergic to the
unhealthy.
vaping still. Yeah.
You
Anyone
want
who
to
has
kill?
asthma, I don't care if you're vaping or smoking, it affects us.
Yep. You know my theory on this is if you want to kill yourself by smoking, go ahead, have at it, but don't do it in front of anybody else.
Oh,
And my last one, and this borders on ridiculous and offensive, just not offensive, but very disrespectful to others. You know, you can't bring alcohol bottles into the park and alcohol. And I saw a young father with children and I think a significant other or a partner or a friend, who knows, trying to bring a bottle of whiskey into the park. Well, you can't do it, number one, and you're holding up the line in security to get through into the park. It's just like, be sensible. Now, I understand, I know they have problems sometimes with people trying to bring weapons in. I get that, but some of it is not a lot, but some of it is law enforcement who are so used to carrying their weapon, they forget they have it, or they're unaware that they can't bring it into the park, and they'll try but when something like that happens, and I've seen this once, where the officer forgot, he was very respectful to security, he let them do what they had to do, and that was the end of it. But you bring in a bottle of whiskey with young children too. It's like, why are you drinking like that with your children there?
you might need to. If they're little kids, you might need
It's
it.
going out of the adult with.
You know what? You got a good point there, Lottie. That's a good point.
Yeah, but if
All
you're
right,
going to do it, you should be paying for it in the parks and give
Right.
Disney their due.
So according to Lottie, if you're coming with young children, get drunk before you come.
Bring the alcohol.
I'm kidding.
You gotta get the bracelet flask. That's what you gotta get.
Yeah.
You gotta get the Capri Sun pouches that go on the inside of your jacket.
All right. Well, that's it for me. So Kurt.
Okay. 2 more. Well, the
Take
big
your
one
time.
at the end. But first, building off of what John said, where he's gotten separated from his wife, we've literally gone in line where there's 2 of us just walking along, and the third person in our party of 5 or 6 stops because someone cuts him off. Well, then all of a sudden, a party of 10 walks right in front of them. And all of a sudden, here's me and the person I was talking to in the front, and the rest of our group is 10 people back. And I'm like, what just happened here? And the people, sometimes the people will be like, come up, we cut you off, sorry, come up. But 9 times out of 10, like John said, it's me and whoever I was up in the front with that just walk like we were supposed to. Usually it's in like Test Track or the Haunted Mansion or something like that, where everything funnels.
Mhm.
And I want to get there first.
Mm.
I just walked and they got cut off. It happens, but rather than letting us come up or letting them come up, we now have to go back. And we're like, I get it. It's 10 people, but it gets annoying when it's every time, like John was saying. It just gets annoying. So
Yep, it does.
that's what I'm like. And now the big story. It was a Monday of 2014 during Thanksgiving week. We're standing next to a gentleman who has his daughter. And we're literally we're on the front of the partner statue area. So we're right up against that fence that's right there, the railing. Okay. And we're all just standing there. And I stepped forward, like there was an opening in front of us. So I stepped forward about 3 feet just so I could get a clear picture. Because the guy goes, go ahead in front of me. I'm right here. My daughter's going up on my shoulders. That's why we're in front of the fence at the partner statue. My wife is standing next to him. Again, we're all having a good conversation. And I just want to be 3 feet up just so I can get a good shot. Next thing you know, there's 5 minutes till showtime. This guy comes running through with his daughter's screaming. And he literally, she's like 3 years old, takes her pants, pulls them down. He sets her on the railing and says, just go. And she's like, no, Daddy, I need to go to the bathroom. She goes, just go. Well, for those of you that think just because it's a little girl, it's going to shoot straight down. Oh, no. It shot right out of the back of this guy's leg. And the stream bounced off onto my wife. So both of them were like, what are you doing? Where is security?
Kurt, I told you, I said I'm sorry. No, it wasn't me.
I turn around and I see this and I go, what are you doing? You've got to be kidding me. So, yes, if your kid has to go to the bathroom, I mean, this kid probably has PTSD, and now he's got, going to therapy because I peed on this guy because my dad forced me to pee into the. My kids would never. I have boys; they're not going to want to just turn around and go into there like that. They'd be too embarrassed in front of everybody. And this guy's forcing his daughter to sit on that rail. Hey, it makes me think twice before I touch that railing anymore. Okay, so yes, you can't make this stuff up, people. They really do it. Yeah. Again, where was security to get them out of there? People are there's enough cast members around. How this happened without a cast member seeing it and grabbing the guy and getting him out of there, I have no idea.
So what happened? Like, did he apologize or did he just walk off with the dripping wet kid? Like, what happened?
He put the kid on his shoulders and
walked away. Like, she had to go. They're like, the bathroom's right over there. Again, you're on Main Street. Well, we don't want to miss the show.
Oh, God.
Your daughter's going to the bathroom on top of somebody else, peeing on somebody else, and you're okay with this. No, don't. This, people, it's not that important. You can see the lights afterwards. Okay, it was literally the lighting of the back when they used to light the castle. It was the lighting of the castle. She would have seen the lights of the castle. Heaven forbid she wouldn't have seen Elsa doing her part of the show. But it's sometimes nature calls and you need to just let it go where it's supposed to go. Well, not anywhere. I felt so bad for this guy. The guy literally had to leave the park.
Be at the end of the show now.
So just no, you can't let it go anywhere you want. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got 3 daughters, right? And you just make it a point to go to the bathroom before you get in line for the ride, or before you every time we pass the bathroom, you got to go. It's time to go. Let's.
You are going.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say it was something like, "Oh, here, just pee in this cup." Oh no! Oh no!
I remember years ago being online. I think it was it might have been Snow White's Scary Adventures, or it could have been Winnie the Pooh. It was one of those rides in that area, and this father's yelling at his son. I asked you if you had to go to the bathroom. Now we're online. Now you have to go. Well, then take them. Don't make a scene.
I'm glad some of the newer rides or newer attractions have bathrooms in the queues now.
Right. And I'll fully excuse that. So that was a topic that someone was talking to on a forum I was reading today, where they're like, look, we're in line for 45 minutes. It's a 2-hour wait. After 45 minutes, hey, none of us are that young. Yeah, our bladders aren't what they used to be. I ate an hour and a half ago. It's time to go. In the middle of the queue for Flight of Passage, they actually have a bathroom. You run into the bathroom, and then, yes, you can come back up and meet up with your party. A lot of times the party will just wait there and say, I'm waiting for someone in the bathroom. Go ahead, bye. But I'll excuse it in that situation. But like Lottie's saying, I mean, okay, we got about a 20-minute wait. Does anyone need to go to the bathroom? Can you try, please? Because yeah, they were probably waiting at least a half hour. Why didn't you ask the kid, come on, let's go try. We're gonna go and try now. Oh no.
I've come to the conclusion that less than 1% of the world population is normal. and there's a large percentage of people that are just in their own world. Some feel entitled. It's just, and then some are just plain nuts. It's just,
So if 1% of the population is normal, that doesn't bode
I said
well.
less than 1% of
Less than one. That doesn't bode
Yeah.
well for this group. Which one of us is
Well,
normal?
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I never said I was normal.
Lottie's real name is Abby. Normal.
Oh boy. I wonder if that's where they got the idea for the song for Frozen.
Let it go.
Oh.
That was not the time or the place to just let it go.
No.
I'm telling you, it was horrible. So,
And if anybody out there has stories as good or better than what Kurt just told, please leave us a note in the comments for the show, whether it be on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch or listen to the show.
you can't make this stuff up. Like I said, you just can't make it up.
Oh boy. I'll excuse the children. Actually, the child knew better than the parent. Isn't that scary?
She wanted to go to the bathroom.
That's right.
She wasn't crying she was going to miss it. He was upset he was going to miss it.
Yep. Yeah, he probably figured this is the one time I'm going to get to see this, and my daughter's got to go.
This also goes for, the parents let their kids pee in the resort pool. No.
Oh God, yeah.
Just pee in the pool.
But you know what? Adults do it too. It's not just kids. Adults do it.
This is true, but don't vocalize it. Don't tell me this while I'm swimming next to your kid.
Blissful ignorance.
Oh boy. I thought the pool didn't look clear.
Yeah, I thought there was a rock at the bottom of a pool once. It wasn't a rock.
Oh.
I let the lifeguard know the pool was closed for a good hour and a half while they cleaned the bottom of the pool.
Mm.
I don't know if we can ever top this.
So.
Oh, would anybody like? I can't talk. Would anybody like to add anything else before we go?
We can't.
Nope.
That's why I saved it for the end, guys.
Yep, and that's why I wanted you to save it for the end.
You just can't make this.
I'm gonna have bad dreams tonight. I know it.
As long as it's not a wet dream.
Oh God! On that note, can we just let that go?
Yes. On that note, I forgot what I was going. Oh yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, if you're an iPhone user, John has a wonderful app that he's created for WDW Fan Zone. Check it out. Download it. It's free. There's a lot you can do on it and more to come. Do you want to add anything to that, John? Anything you want to mention?
But just a reminder that it's been revised lately, and you can still get to all of our social media content and podcasts. Quick ways to get to them. But now you can track your trips, the attractions you go to, the restaurants you go to, where you stay. You could even time your trips. And if you want to find, and I know you can do this on the regular My Disney Experience app, but if you want to find a path to get to an attraction, there's a map on there that will show you two different ways. It'll either show you a route on the map, or it'll allow you to use Apple Maps or Google Maps and give you directions to walk you there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And John, I think I have 4 shows left before I will be stepping away from WDW Fan Zone, and John will be taking over as the host. And
I will be trying
for him and everyone else.
Thankfully, we still have our other co-hosts here as well to get through the transition. We're going to miss you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Anyway, everybody be safe, be yourself. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
See you
Keep it
real,
in.
see you real soon.
I will not finish with "Let It Go." I just won't. For many reasons. For many reasons. But going back to talking about throwing trash where it doesn't belong, or not putting your tray and your trash where it does belong, I'm going to lean on Mike Wazowski and say, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me, so help me, so help me. So we hope that we didn't turn everybody off, and we hope that you can put things back where they need to be so that you're ready to have a nice trip when you get down to Walt Disney World and come back and see us again next week. Everybody stay safe, and hope to see you again. Bye now.